Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down the stories behind the headlines. Today, we're diving into the career of Kriti Sanon, an actress who is basically writing a whole new playbook for what it means to be a star in Bollywood today. Her journey is a story of serious resilience and big ambition, so let's get into it. So picture this, it's 2014, and right out of the gate, after her very first major film, a top critic makes this huge prediction. But here's the thing about Bollywood, it's notoriously tough. So how did her journey actually play out? Did she live up to that prophecy? Well, it was a lot more complicated than anyone expected.
You see, her path to stardom, it wasn't a straight line at all. To really get it, we have to start somewhere you would probably never guess, an engineering classroom.
Kriti Sanon's entry into the film world was, let's just say, not your typical Bollywood story. She comes from a family of academics. Her mom's a physics professor, her dad's a chartered accountant. And she followed that path at first, getting a whole bachelor's degree in engineering. It was only after a little detour into fashion modeling that she finally took the plunge into acting in 2014.
And that plunge? Wow, it landed her right in the middle of the spotlight. Her Hindi debut was Hero Punti, an action romance where she starred opposite another newcomer, Tiger Shroff. This movie instantly put her on the map. And yeah, this was the performance that got everyone, including that critic, talking about her being a future star.
And listen, this wasn't just hype. The industry's biggest awards totally backed it up. She basically swept the newcomer categories, taking home both a Filmfare and an IFA award for Best Female Debut. For someone coming from outside the film world, this was an absolute dream start.
But, as anyone who follows Bollywood knows, a great debut doesn't mean you're on easy street. What came next wasn't a smooth ride at all. It was a career roller coaster, with some seriously dizzying highs and, well, some pretty crushing lows.
And when we say volatile, we mean it. On one hand, you've got her starring in these massive hits like Houseful 4 and Luka Chupi, films that made billions. But then, on the other hand, she was also the lead in major box office bombs like Rabta and Panipat. It was a career of total opposites, happening at the same time.
The pressure wasn't just about the money either. Critics often said she had a spirited presence, that she was good, but the films themselves sometimes got torn apart. Having a movie you're in called Embarrassingly Daft, that's gotta sting. It really made you wonder, could she be more than just the best part of a bad movie? Well, in 2021, she answered that question loud and clear. She starred in a film that would completely change the game for her, proving she was way more than just a star. She was a powerhouse performer.
That film was Mimi. She played a surrogate mother, and to really look the part, Kriti went through a major physical transformation, gaining 15 kilograms for the role. This wasn't just about changing her appearance. This was a signal to everyone that she was all in, deeply committed to getting this character right. And that dedication, it led to the biggest payoff you can imagine. For Mimi, she won the Holy Trinity of Indian Film Awards, the National Film Award, the Filmfare Award, and the IFA Award, all for Best Actress. This was it. This cemented her place right at the top.
And the critics? They saw it immediately. This one review really hits the nail on the head. It was her attempt to establish herself as a standalone actor, not just a pretty heroine. The whole story around her changed. She wasn't a promising newcomer anymore. She was an actress who could carry an entire film on her own shoulders.
But remember that roller coaster we talked about? Well, even after a massive win like Mimi, it wasn't over. After a pretty good 2022, the next year turned out to be brutal. She had a whole string of films that just didn't work at the box office, including Shahzada, Ganapath, and the huge, much-hyped film Adipurush.
And the lowest point of that year was definitely Adipurush. This was one of the most expensive Indian movies ever made. So when it failed commercially, it wasn't just a flop. It was a massive blow and a huge setback. But this is where her resilience is just incredible. Just 1 year later, she didn't just recover, she staged a massive comeback. Her 2024 film, Crew, this awesome female-led heist comedy, became a huge commercial success. It ended up being one of the highest-grossing films of the year, proving, once again, that she has serious box office power. Okay, so surviving a wild acting career is one thing, but Kriti Sanon's blueprint for a modern star goes way beyond just being on screen. She wasn't just playing a character, she was busy building an entire empire.
Look at this. This is a masterclass in building a brand. She launched a clothing line, co-founded a fitness company, and then started her own skincare brand. But the final piece of the puzzle, the real power move, was establishing her own production company. Now she has control not just over her image, but over the art she creates. She really became the architect of her own career.
And if you think this is all just some celebrity side hobby, think again. Her skincare brand, Hyphen, brought in over 1 billion rupees. That's about $12 million in revenue. And get this, that was in its first year alone. This is a serious, incredibly successful business empire.
So, what is the Kriti Sanon blueprint? It's pretty clear, right? It's about having the resilience to ride out those insane career waves, having the undeniable talent to win the biggest awards, and having the smarts to build a whole empire outside of acting. She's proved that today's star doesn't just have to act, they can own the whole show. So from an engineering student to a national award-winning actress and a billion-rupee entrepreneur, her journey has been nothing short of amazing. It really only leaves you with one question. Actress, entrepreneur, producer, what on earth is next for one of Bollywood's newest and smartest power players?